So now we are on chapter 4. Just like all the chapters, these are representative questions. These are practice questions in the form of MCQ, fill in the blanks, match the following, and a descriptive small short answer questions. The idea is that whatever we have read through the mandated material and through my videos, how to quickly do a recap or a check very quickly, and then because we are just a few days left before the actual exam. With this intent, I have created some representative questions, some practice questions, so that we are on top of the concept when we are in the exam hall. Because though we have understood the concept, now the time to deliver, and to deliver we actually need to memorize, actually need to make sure we practice a little. So with that intent, these are the practice questions. Let's quickly go through. First question is, Buddhism viewing death as revitalization is explained through the analogy of sleep, where life revives upon awakening. This is something we have discussed in detail in our video as well, that the analogy of sleep is nothing but that when we go into sleep, and when we wake up from the sleep, right, the energy we have prior and the energy we have after, there's a huge difference. Why? Because the sleep helps us to revive ourselves, to revitalize, to and to rejuvenate ourselves as well. Correct. So that is the reason myo means death. Myo also means sleep. It also means unmanifest form. It also means latent form. It is very difficult to comprehend. So myo also means mysterious or mystical form. Right. Now, one thing while we are at it, that it definitely we will get energy, definitely we will get revived through sleep. However, the most important thing is what our mindset, what our life state was before we were going to sleep. Because as soon as we come back from the sleep, right, as soon as we wake up from the sleep, the same life state ultimately will overcome us. That is something we have seen in our life as well. So if I have an exam coming up, I may be tired at this point of time and I think of sleeping. I'm anxious that I need to cover certain syllabus and whatnot. I'll definitely get revived after the sleep. However, as soon as I wake up, the all the tensions, all the worries will again cloud me, isn't it? Same goes for stress, same goes for everything. So that's the reason in this chapter we talked about myo as a sleep which revitalize. At the same time, we have also discussed in this chapter that whatever life we have at the last moment of our death, that life continues after the death as well, and ultimately whenever we are reborn, we will be reborn in that life state or those conditions, right? Nonetheless, let's move to the next question. The persistence of one's life state across death is compared to waking from sleep with the same emotion state. So that is what we have discussed, that the life state persists. Maybe the manifested form of life has ended and it is merged or fused with the universe, but it has fused with the same life state. So universe has all the 10 worlds. So whatever life state I have at the last moment of my life, that life will merge with that particular life state of the universe, and it will continue in that form only. That's the reason Buddhism discourages suicide a lot. So when somebody goes thinks of suicide, that hey, I'm fed up of my life, I'm in a hellish condition, nothing is working for me, and I should die. And Buddhism says that hey, life is continuous in nature, then why can't I restart from scratch? Let me start from a clean slate. But it doesn't work like that. Whatever life state you have, and of course when somebody dies from suicide, they are in the hellish life state, the lowest of the 10 world state, right? That's why they are committing that kind of a thing. And that means you will confuse with that life state in the universe, and you will continue to suffer with the same emotion, same feeling till the time you are again reborn. And when you will be reborn, it will continue from there onwards. So that's the reason one should not even think about suicide. We will talk about it in this as we go deeper. Now, all living beings, regardless of the size or form, are entities of Myoho Renge Kyo. Why? Because they undergo origination and extinction and contain all 10 worlds. This is something you should really make things you make understand yourself completely, that all living beings have certain characteristics. The first characteristics, they are the entity of Myoho Renge Kyo, they are the entity of lotus, they are the embodied lotus, they are the one who will go through the origination and extinction, and they all possesses 10 worlds, and they all are governed by the law of cause and effect. Multiple names of the same thing, right? Now, Now, next question is that only describing living beings as embodied lotus emphasizes the simultaneity of cause and effects functioning in our thoughts, words, and action. So, idea is that we all are the entities of the mystic law and we all are the entities of the lotus or renge. Why? Because just like renge has or lotus has a property of blooming and seeding at the same time, similarly our life also governed by the law of simultaneity of cause and effect. And why do we create cause? Because we are the living beings of 10 worlds. So from one world to another, we keep on fluctuating based on our thought, speech, and action. And whatever action, whatever causes we are creating, it is resulting in the effects. And that's how the circle of life, the rhythm of life continues. Now, entity of Myoho Rengekyo literally means lotus of the entity or embodied lotus. So they both are synonym. Lotus expresses that each moment of life contains both the cause and effect simultaneously. Okay, so basically lotus means law of cause and effect. It also means because we are the entities of 10 worlds, we will continue to create the causes and effect. When seen as embodied lotus, our lives are what? Neutral and manifest enlightenment or delusion based on the causes and conditions. So lotus is basically, we are think of each one of us as a lotus itself. We all are lotus because just like lotus bloom and seed same time, similarly we also do that in our life. Just like lotus is surrounded by the mud, still it is still not touched, and not getting stained by the mud. Similarly, that is how we need to be, that no matter whatever challenges we are serene, we are a happy glowing face in the muddied water, in the muddied situation. So that's how we are an embodied lotus. A profound change in mindset can transform life instantly because self and environment are both entities of Myoho Renge-kyo. Now, that is very important. When we say I am an entity of Myoho Renge-kyo, that also means my environment is an entity of Myoho Renge-kyo. Because when I'm saying I'm entity of Myo Rengekyo, so I'm the mind manifest form. But Myo means unmanifest form. What is unmanifest form? That is universe. That is my environment. So both my life and death are governed by Myoho Rengekyo. Correct? And a profound change in mindset can transform life instantly because ultimately self and environment are both entities of Myoho Rengekyo. That is the reason. The answer can be, if the option would have been around Ichinin Sanzen or 3000 realms, that could have also been answer for this question. According to Tiantai, arising and extinction refers to, arising means manifestation, extinction means withdrawal, going back to the universe, right? So, according to Tiantai, arising and extinction refers to manifestation and withdrawal of the essential nature of the law. Next is Shakyamuni saying as an expedient means I appear to enter nirvana. It implies, so there is a saying that Shakyamuni Buddha said that it is not like that I have attained Buddhahood in this lifetime, but I attained Buddhahood in remote past, and it's just that I showcase myself that I'm going into Nirvana. But it's not like I was always here, right? It basically means that there are two things here. One is that it is not something he has achieved in this life; he has achieved in remote past. That means he was always Buddha, just like we are always Buddha. It's just that our that life state got dormant because of the delusion and illusion and earthly desires and all, right? Now when as an expedient means, basically it means it is a way of teaching to the disciples the eternal mystic law of life and death that faces through the that goes through the rhythm of universe. Now, President Toda taught that beings are reborn according to cause condition that match their lifestyle. That is something Toda Sensei talked in this chapter, that whatever life state we have at the last moment of our death, that we will be continuing in the universe and ultimately in the when we get reborn. Inner transformation links to which doctrinal principle? That is what I was talking. So basically, Ichinin Sanzen, the 3000 realms in a single moment of life, that is something when we make a strong determination with the Ichinin, with a complete Ichinin, then we are creating the true cause. And whenever the right cause is created, it will result in the true effect of Buddhahood. Now, it is in itself is a bit complicated topic. Ichinin Sanzen, very important topic. I have done a separate video, you can go and check that, but just to give you in a one liner, so Ichinin Sanzen basically means 3000 realms in a single moment of life. Think of it like that from a mathematical point of view. So there are 3000 possibilities from one moment to another. There are 3000 multiverse. So from one moment to another, there are 3000 possibility. I can react this, I can react that. If I react that, so accordingly, that the environment will respond accordingly. So there are 3000 possibilities, right? Now, one of the possibilities of 3000 is Buddhahood, Buddhahood, Buddhahood. So I need to determine that I need to concentrate and squeeze and do away with all the other possibility and just get that one possibility to manifest in my life. That is the principle of Ichinin Sansan in a very short and nutshell way. Of course, once you understand this phenomena or this principle, then you will appreciate it more. Now, arising is the arising of the essential nature of the law. Extinction is the extinction of that nature. So basically, what nature they are talking about? So they are talking about a subjective change and objective eternity. So what is subjective? Our shape, current shape and form is subjective in nature. Our situation is subjective in nature. That will continue to change. That will continue to arise. That will continue to extinct. However, the essential nature of us is none other than mystic law, which is Namyo Renge Kyo. That will continue for eternity. In the ceremony in the air, Shakyamuni and many treasures sitting together. What does it signifies? It signifies that even Buddhas manifest life and death while rooted in the mystic law. Now, why is it saying so? Because if we look at Shakyamuni said that he has shown going into nirvana as an expedient means. So he is saying that I continue to be reborn again and again. So I am in life, but I have shown you that I am going into nirvana. So he has shown and as an expedient mean from life to death cycle. Now, what many Tejas Buddha did, it is said that he was always in nirvana. However, as soon as somebody starts preaching Lotus Sutra, he will sit in besides that person and attest for the universality and the truthness of Lotus Sutra. So essentially, while Shakyamuni Buddha is saying that I show life to death as an expedient means, many Tejas Buddha is coming from nirvana. So he's showing from death to life as an expedient means. So it's like a completing the cycle. So that's the reason in the ceremony in the air, Shakyamuni and many treasures sitting together symbolizes that even Buddha manifests life and death, which is nothing but inherent nature of the mystic law. Now, Shakyamuni pretending to enter nirvana implies that death is an expedient means to teach. Many treasures Buddha repeated appearance represent that the law emerging from death into life to certify the teaching. Correct? According to Toda Sensei, at death, our life essence merges with the universe and fuses with one of the 10 worlds. Which 10 world it will fuse? It depends on our life state at the moment of our death. And and that's the reason why is the life state at death is so crucial, because it decides which universal world state one fuses with and re-emerges from. Now, a person who dies in Buddhahood will ultimately merge with the Buddhahood realm, and because the true essence, the great reason for which Buddha keeps on appearing in the world is for the happiness of all the people and to awaken them to their original self. So that is a very high cause, right? Very great cause. They want to do that. So intent is very high, and they are already in the Buddhahood realm. So that means that whenever a person who dies in Buddhahood, they will be reborn very quickly, and they will be reborn without any hindrance. So whatever time, place they want to choose, they will choose themselves, and they will be rebirth very freely. And that's the reason we also say that we assumed our karma, because that is what we have chosen. That is deriving from this fact only. The swift return of Bodhisattva of the earth is driven by the deep compassion to lead all people to enlightenment. Now, some fill in the blanks. Myo means death, but it also means to open up, to revive, and revitalize. Life and death are functions of the universal rhythm of Myoho Renge Kyo. All living beings possess all 10 worlds. Because causes and effects arise simultaneously, we are described as embodied lotus. Oneness of self and environment means inner changes alters surroundings. A profound inner change is based on the principle of Ichinin Sanzen. Shakyamuni pretended to enter nirvana as an expedient means. At death, one's life's essence fuses with a universal life state. A person who dies in Buddhahood can freely choose the time, place, and form of rebirth. Time, कब, कहाँ, कैसे होना है, वो सब choose कर सकता है if somebody dies in a life state of Buddhahood. The inherent nature of universe is described as compassion. That is something we have read in chapter 3 as well. Embodied lotus, I am getting a gut feeling. This is question gonna come. Embodied lotus. It means all beings are entities of the mutual possession of the 10 worlds. Now, some match the following: Myo, Ho, and embodied lotus. Myo means death, Ho means manifest form, embodied means simultaneity of cause and effect. Now, Shakyamuni Buddha, many treasures, both Buddhas together. So Shakyamuni shows eternal Buddha teaching through expedient means, right? Many treasures shows the authenticity and emerging from death to life, and both Buddhas together manifesting law through life and death. Now, life state at death merge with the universe and bodhisattvas repeated return. So, what is the answer? Life state at death determines rebirth, right? Merging with universe, fusion with 10 words of universal life, bodhisattva repeated return driven by compassion for all beings. Now, there are some short answers. I would highly recommend that you take a pause here and go through the suggested answer, but make sure this is not the only answer, or may not be 100% correct also, if I may say, with a pinch of salt. So idea is that you go through it, understand what kind of questions can come. It is a representative, I have no clue what is going to come. It is just my efforts to make you prepare better for the exam and ultimately able to imbibe the spirit, right? Now, explain how death can be understood as revitalization within the framework of mu. So basically, sleep example we can use here. Why are all living beings described as embodied lotus? Because we all continue to create cause and effect, because we all are governed by the mutual possession of 10 worlds. How does Ichinin Sanzen explain instant inner and outer transformation? So we studied that there are two types of causality. One is the simple karmic retribution, the other one is the instant simultaneity of cause and effect that manifests instantly. But to manifest the Buddhahood instantly, we need to have a profound conviction, right? And that is something which is a part of the Ichinin Sanzen concept itself. What is the significance of Shakyamuni and Venerable Treasures Buddha demonstrating life and death phases? So that's something we have discussed. Why is the life state at the moment of death considered decisive? Because whatever life state we will have at the time of death, we will continue to fuse with the universe in the same life state. Explain why life and death are not inherently suffering according to this teaching. That is very important. Let me explain it. Because the text states life and death are part of eternal rhythm of the mystic law. They are not fundamentally a suffering. They only appear painful when viewed through ignorance. When understood within the mystic law, both phases are dignified expression of enlightenment. What does the lotus metaphor teach about our ability to attain Buddhahood? So, because it is a simultaneity of cause and effect, because it is a instant simultaneity of cause and effect when we are creating the true cause, so ultimately we can instantly manifest our Buddhahood as well. We need not to wait. Describe how the principle of 3000 realm explained instant inner change. So that is something we have already discussed. So with this, we have concluded the chapter 4 suggested quiz. Thank you so much.